Yeah, he'll be out. James and Darryl both be out. Prater out, and Trayvon will be out as well. Those 4 guys.
James have a shot at all?
No, not this week. Hopefully next week, but we'll see.
What do you like from Ingram?
Just moment doesn't seem too big for him, since day one. Just when he touches the ball, has good vision, plays downhill, plays like he belongs, carries himself like he belongs, and that's why we ended up keeping him. So it'll be moving fast, I'm sure. First NFL game experience, but he'll step up.
You think he has the size to compete at this level?
He definitely does, and his ball skills are probably better than I anticipated. The physicality is there. I mean, like I said, he's never backed down from anything since he's been here. So we're all excited to see what he does.
Did you mention Darryl?
Darryl's out.
So is there a pretty good chance that one or at least one of the new guys is going to be active?
Yeah, it looks like Corey will be up.
Is Darryl's knee a sprained MCL?
It is, yeah. So it'll be same deal. Next week, maybe pushing it, but hopefully soon thereafter.
Your secondary today was shut down some really top flight guys, save for week 1. You're not getting the sacks, but you're getting that on the back end. How important is that?
It's been huge. Byron can't say enough about what he's done in whatever role we ask him to do. He's played at a high level, and I've said it all along, but I think defensively, BJ and his staff schematically being able to make some adjustments at halftime and try to take away some things has been really impressive. So as a group, they're flying around, playing with great effort, haven't gotten home to the quarterback like we'd like to just yet, but they're doing a really nice job on that side of the ball.
What's the plan for Rodney this week?
Well, we're going to see. Game day decision. I mean, he did some limited stuff today, but we got to see how it feels Sunday when we move him around.
Sean all right?
He is, yeah.
Is there any decision on Rodney that also takes into account the game next Thursday?
No. If he can go, he'll go.
How much inner space have you had with Hop since he's been allowed to return? A lot of good conversations, or just a couple?
Yeah, just a couple. He's fired up. When he's been here, it's been high energy, good juice, and I'm really excited to see what he brings to the practice field. I mean, business seems to pick up when he's around. Offensively, defensively, he's always talking and challenging people, and so I think he could be getting here at the right time.
Did he tell you if he felt like he got something accomplished with his workout routine, with his body, getting all as clued in as he can?
Yeah, he talks about being on, I think, as good a program as he's had in his career. Really looks like it, feels like he took advantage of the time away, and time on task is important, getting back in and obviously getting on the field. He won't have any true practices next week with the schedule set up, but he's a guy that you can throw out there and expect to make plays, there's no doubt.
He hasn't played since week 14 of last year. Obviously, as you always been a new team, new guys, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect this offense to change once he's back?
We'll kind of see where he fits in. I mean, he's the centerpiece of it. There's no doubt. You're the number one wideout. You're gonna draw some attention, and we got to work with him in training camp, which was big. Get to use him there and kind of see where it fit. But with Hollywood and him and Rondell and Ertz and AJ, I mean, there's a lot of different ways it could go. But I expect him to be a huge part of the offense.
Did you have anything in camp for week 7?
No, not yet. We've obviously wanted to play everywhere, inside, outside, take advantage of that. Now that we have Hollywood and we feel like can really be, a weapon both places as well. So we want both guys to be able to play inside and outside.
With the way the division has gone so far this season, do you have any kind of sense on how this division might go the rest of the way?
I don't. I think the whole NFL is pretty wide open. It's all 3-2 or 2-3 outside of a couple teams, and they're playing this week, and then the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So I think they're both matching up. But it's wide open. Hadn't been the prettiest brand of football, I don't think, yet overall. And business will pick up in November, and I think that's when kind of the separation will happen.
With DeAndre, how do you anticipate next week, especially since it's a compacted, and certainly you don't practice as much or as hard as you would in a normal week, and getting him up to speed?
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of football, there's no doubt. And so we'll make sure the plays that he's in, he's going to know what to do and be able to compete at a high level. But he's a guy that anytime he's on the field, you got to know where he's at, and he's got a chance to make a play.
I'm curious, we saw Matt Rule get fired earlier this past week, and now you're going against Pete Carroll, who's is almost the opposite. So much success coming from college to the pros. You've done it yourself. What similarities do you think you see between yourself and Pete Carroll to have that success going from the college level to the pros?
Yeah, I mean, he's just had a little bit more success than me, I'd say. No, he's a guy that I look to, just his energy. You know, it's always up. I mean, over the years, you watch him, and it's high energy. Those guys compete their tails off. You know, if you read his books, I mean, the things he talks about, it's principles that, you know, you want to live your life by and coach by and everything else. And to know his story and when he got fired of the Patriots and how harsh that was and the media and how they came down on him and then to watch him resurrect himself and be like USC's sixth choice and then create the dynasty. It's an awesome story and a guy that I have a tremendous amount of respect for.
What do you see in this Seattle defense? We know they've given up a lot of yards, but what do you see the things that you know you have that might give you trouble?
Yeah, I think it's an ascending defense. Like I said, they're playing a bunch of young players. They decided to you know, put young guys out there and let them grow on task, and so they've gotten better each week, and they've played some really good offenses and given up some big plays here or there, but it's a group that you can tell has gotten better each week, and they play with a lot of effort and really attack the football.
You're in the process of making the jump from college to the NFL. Did you talk to any pro coaches who had made that jump before to see what it was like?
Not really. There's kind of limited access to those type guys. So just a few guys that I knew, and obviously hiring Vance and having Jeff Rogers here, guys that have been on a bunch of different staffs and done it a bunch of different ways, was important.
With young players as a coach, and even veterans from other teams that come and join you, is that a fine line of evaluation in terms of how much you put them on the field, knowing they might make that mistake, but also can be counteracted by making positive plays to help you win?
No doubt. I think that's always the battle kind of between coaches and personnel, because coaches want guys that know what they're doing and aren't going to bust and give things up wide open, and personnel wants to play the guys they brought in for a reason. So there's a fine line. You do walk, and sometimes teams are in different phases of building and things of that nature, but you know, it's cool to see when the young guys develop, and whether it's week 4 or 5 or 6, we're going to have some younger guys playing this week that have kind of earned it, and I think that's important.
Cliff, how would you describe just the atmosphere in Seattle, and where does that compare, like, hostility-wise to other places that you guys have played?
Yeah, it's awesome. Really loud, obviously, no matter what their record is. Lots of energy there, and fun place to play. I think, you know, Las Vegas, that was a new experience, playing in that stadium. That was really loud, but, you know, other than that, Seattle's definitely one of the loudest we've been in. Thank y'all.